I've had enough of that now.
Oh, right. Oh, God. I wasn't ready then. The cat was...
Yeah, make sure you look presentable. No swearing.
Yeah. I'll do me hair.
Yeah, all good. All good to go.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Scott Wonders World. And this is called The First Time Ever. Joined
it is unbelievable.
Pretty much as ever by my very good, the lovely Dean for Dean's Beer Reviews. And the first time that I've ever had the pleasure of speaking to someone that I've got a lot of respect for within the beer community, and I know Dean has as well. And it's JB, the Northern Southerner Beer Reviews.
Thank you for having me. It's been absolutely wonderful to be on here. Absolutely. It's been a long time coming.
Yeah,
a long time coming. And really, really, it's fantastic. Couldn't believe it. I'm here at last.
Well, I know me and Dean have been discussing this, JB, for many a year, shall we say. I mean, I've known Dean for about 3 years now. And obviously I've watched your lives when you used to do them on a Saturday afternoon. You used to enjoy them. Yeah, no, they were. I like the interaction around. Obviously, you're a Southampton fan. I'm a Pompey fan. There was a little bit to and fro from that.
Yeah, and it was a bit of banter.
Yeah, and it's always been good. And I know Dean speaks very highly of you as well.
Yeah,
likewise.
We more or less started at the same time, didn't we, Jonathan?
We did. I think
we
you started
before me.
Yeah,
before me.
Yeah, it's I've come on. I've been watching Dean since he started. Really, it's unbelievable. Really, how long we've been watching each other.
Yeah,
go back a long way.
We've only had the pleasure of doing one live together, haven't we? And that was
I was never into lives. I think. I was never into lives, but now I'm starting to embrace it a lot more now, and it's nice. It's nice to do it. It's a nice change, definitely.
Yeah,
definitely. Hello, Thomas.
So we haven't, for the people that are watching, thank you for joining us. There's no agenda for tonight. We've all picked up different beers for whatever reason. We haven't actually discussed what we've all picked up, and it's just we just come on with a couple of hours to kill. Friday night. No work in the weekend, so we thought we'd come and have a chat, see who's about, and go from there.
Brilliant, absolutely.
Go.
So, what beers have you picked up, BB?
Me?
Go on, mate. You crack on. You crack on, mate. What have you picked up, buddy?
Dean or me? Me?
You.
Me. Oh, me. Sorry. Well, as it's a special occasion, I've picked up one of my vintage beers, which I've been storing, and it is the original Rheinbacher. It's out of date by August 2021, and I actually did put this on eBay for 50 quid, but nobody put a bid in.
I can't understand why no
she did it for a laugh. The next one is, I went for it.
You gone for the fucking twice as nice, haven't you?
Well, and also I've gone for that beast of a stout as well.
What the hell? What's that one?
It is Stout About It. Absolutely awful. This is Stout About It. It's a vanilla stout, and it's got a really crap label on it.
Stay there, John. Just stay there, John, and I'll put it on screen. Hang on.
There you go. There you go.
Oh,
I had tons of these in Aldi. Funnily enough, they only had one of them. It's weird, isn't it?
I can't believe it.
Is that the Hop Foundry, JB?
Yeah, the Hop Foundry.
Oh, fucking
wherever they are. So
there's rumours that it's. I don't want to say it, but there's rumours it's Hog's Back Brewery, isn't it? That's who they say that are brewing some of this stuff.
Yeah, because was it in the Freedom Brewery? Did German beers?
Yeah, Freedom did
them.
Yeah, did them, and they for shits and giggles they were all right. They were passable. We call them. JB was disagreeing on that. I saw your reviews.
It might as well be Carlin. That's what he said, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's one of them things, isn't it? The beer looked absolutely terrible, actually. But never mind.
Thomas has put both your channels in the chat. So
thank you very much, Thomas.
Doesn't
thank you for all your
me.
support, Thomas, as well. Thomas, you're everywhere, mate. And thank you. I don't even get time to do anything else.
Nah, nothing. Anybody that doesn't subscribe over JB or Dean, then go and give them some love because good people.
Try to be.
Yeah, allegedly.
The Hop House, Eddie's in. Good evening, Thomas. I'm drinking a blackcurrant squash. Get out.
Go on out. Go on.
John Whitaker's in. How are you, mate? I'm gonna skip everybody that's saying hello to each other. We'll just skip through. Eddie says, "Evening all." Steve, what?
Go on.
What these guys are going to do tonight? We're just going to have a couple of drinks to see what happens.
Go on.
The Pondering Man's in. Mark sent me a couple of beers this week.
Hello, Mark.
Thank you ever so much, mate. Unfortunately, Mark is aware of this, so he sent me a double dry hopped double IPA, I think it was, and a 10% Imperial Stout for Wanda. Now,
Very
Wanda,
nice.
Anybody that doesn't know, Wanda's been extremely under the weather this week. So I've gone out to review the double dry hopped IPA, and as I've come back in the house, Wanda said to me, her exact words were, "That stout's very nice." I said, "Pardon?" She said, "That stout's very nice." I said, "So you've opened it then?" She said, "Well, I've only had a teaspoon." I said, "But you've opened the can." She said, "Yeah, I thought it might make me feel better." So I messaged Mark apologising and sent him a little private video of me reviewing the beer for him. But it did make him feel better.
Oh, so it did.
Wanda's in. I should she sat over there.
Hello, Wanda.
Thank you for joining the boys. Jackson, all right, you bloody legends. Well, these two legends.
I don't know about that.
I'm still the new boy. I count myself as a new boy. Let's crack through these and then we'll John says all right. Eddie says, "Evening, Wanda, hope you're okay. How's Hugo? He's a pain." Everyone's favourite man with a van. It's the blue van man's in.
Hello, Dave. Hello,
Dave.
mate.
Dave.
How you doing?
Fucking idiot. He's 54 now. It's destroyed me. He's been 53 for about 5 years, and I got used to that. And now he's turned 54. It's just ruined everything. What you got in your hands, Dean? What are you going for, mate?
I've just finished off this Caddy Porter.
Nice.
And then I've got the Fuller's ESB to have a go at, and the 1845.
You're not messing around, mate, are you?
He's not messing around tonight, is he? He don't mess around, does he?
Cheapest chips, quality beers.
But the thing was, did we finish what you had, JB, or was there more to your frankly shocking selection of shit that you've picked up?
Well, for backup, this is for backup. I got a Paolano Oktoberfest to finish off, and I found this at the back of my cupboard, Boddington's. Where the hell did that come from?
Fucking
Jesus Christ, eh?
I've got some good ones tonight.
Dean, you know when I said I thought it'd be a good idea to bring this man on?
Yeah.
I'm going to rethink my life.
You've definitely got some reserve players, and haven't you? If you put it into football perspective, with the beers that you've got, mate, you've got like a load of Graham Lasso beers, mate.
Well, to be honest with you, it's not different from the Southampton starting 11 at the moment, is it? Hello, Simo.
How you doing, buddy?
What are you doing, mate? Is it having a load of shit like that? It's about the same as the Southampton squad. So now
I think we could have all guessed that Dave's on the Madry.
Oh
Madry.
God! Oh no!
Hop Foundry is to beer what Holly and Phil are to standing in a queue.
Yeah, spot on there.
He's spot on there. Yeah,
can't really disagree. So I think, to be fair, I think I've won the war on who's picked up the best beer.
By a country mile, I think, Scott.
to be fair, I haven't paid for these. My mate paid for these today for me. So I've got Elusive Brewing's Oregon Trail West Coast IPA, which is an absolute fantastic belter of a beer. You're going to see a bit of a trend. I've got the Game Over from Elusive and Bianca Road. That's another West Coast IPA. I've got the another West Coast IPA from Elusive Brewing and Brew York, which is their Oregon Eagle, which is an absolute cracker. And then on the last one, I've picked up a Tram, because I haven't had Tram for absolutely ages. Me and Dean spoke about Tram, actually, where I just hope it's the same beer as it used to be. Hugo's trying to dig a hole in the sofa.
Give him a bit of beer or something. Keep him quiet.
To be fair, he's apart from his nonchalant pissing on the floor when he's too lazy to go out the door, and he's literally stood. I mean, Dean's been to our house, so he's stood looking out the back door. He's got to go 18 inches to get his paws out, and he just stood there and pissed last. I was like, I can't actually believe you're doing this.
That's a banger.
Tice's Tripe.
Yeah, perfect.
I love that next, actually.
Did you review that last time, JB?
I did. I slated it to hell, to be honest.
That is the only review of any beer that I've done. Wanda asked me to be nice about it.
How can you be nice about that?
I was fuming, and then I did another review after it. I can't remember what I did, and I was that angry that I turned the camera back on and had another go at it.
It's terrible. Well, I don't know. It's got a new small. It looks more sophisticated now with the new livery. So you never know. Don't think so.
You got to open it, drink it, and then get up and walk away.
I think so. I definitely think so. But
Ian Ward says, "Evening, lads. Hope you're all well. What's a good nitro stout to try that's similar to Guinness?"
Ooh, that's a good one.
Well, I mean, in the supermarket, you've got
Murphy's,
the Brewdog beer, haven't you? But then again, that's more boozier, isn't it? The
Roaster Coaster.
Roaster Coaster, yeah, that's a nice one, isn't it?
That's gone now, isn't it?
Is it gone now? Is it that?
Yeah, that's only available on website only now.
Never. That's a good beer. Good seller for them as well.
One of the decent beers.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm not too sure. Was it Jet Black Heart? Was it?
Yeah, Jet Black Heart.
You got the Siren Broken Dream, haven't you? That's
they do a hard pour of that, don't they?
Hard pour Broken Dream.
Yeah, that's.
So I'll keep going that way.
You're getting bigger ABV than Guinness, but it's better. I mean, as nitro beers go, it's decent.
Yeah, I mean, the nitro stuff. I don't really have much. I don't think I've really had much nitro beer, to be honest.
I'd pick them up every now and then because obviously you've got the stout queen over there that likes her stouts, and where you get the smoothness from that nitro, the Wanderer always appreciates that. So if I find a nitro stout, I'll always pick one up. I picked her up that hard pour, and she really liked that. Obviously, Broken Dream is a nice beer anyway. So when you're making it creamier and smoother, that just makes it even better for her. To be fair,
yeah. I mean, it could run away with you. The drinkability of it is amazing. You can just neck it.
Well, that's like Roaster Coaster, wasn't it? I mean, Roaster Coaster wasn't the best stout out there, but that nitro into the body, because it was quite a thin beer, it gave it that creamier feel, and it was lovely. I mean, we had this conversation many times, Dean, that it was an absolute cracker of a bit.
Cracker.
Oh, yeah, it was head and shoulders at the time, wasn't it? Roaster Coaster when it came out at the time.
Yeah,
you look at everything else. Yeah, it was cracking.
And then it all went to shit then after that.
Yeah, they haven't released a decent beer since.
No, not really.
I've had this discussion about Brewdog. I know a lot of channels won't touch them. I do. I'm very honest why I do them. One, it might pay for itself eventually. B, you get half decent views for them, and C, they're a company that employ a lot of people. If we stop buying their beers, then a lot of people are going to lose their jobs. And in an economy, you got to look after people. I don't agree with their politics. It has nothing to do with me, but they employ a vast amount of people.
Yeah, you're right. You hit the nail on the head. I think with me specifically regarding Brewdog, I'll have a few and get fed up, and I leave them. But I know that I will go back. It's just you got to be in the mood, ain't you?
Yeah, I think so. And I mean, some of them have been. I mean, Wanda said to me, "We've got down. I'm going to need a chemical wash in the Brewdog in Southampton. They've got a Collab Fest next weekend. They've got a West Coast in there. What's it called, Wanda? Can you remember? Wanda's going to have a look for me. So I'd like to go. As long as it isn't like Puppet Master or Way Out West or something like that. It's a New Zealand West Coast. I mean, how you can get a West Coast of New Zealand is beyond me. So they're obviously using. But to be fair, I know that sounds odd. Butterfly Effect is called. I picked up a West Coast from these guys, Elusive, that had New Zealand hops in it. And like you guys, I mean, it can't be a West Coast IPA because it hasn't got the proper hop build in it, but it did work.
Yeah, I mean you're gonna get hops from that neck of the woods that are gonna have a high bittering, units to it. Yeah. It's not just the American sort of hops. It's got to be. Yeah, I know what you mean. When you you're trying to.
When you say West Coast, you're expecting sort of the orangey peel, marmalade, sort of piney. Those sort of flavors, sort of bitter grapefruit, that sort of stuff. And when you get slightly different flavors from the New Zealand hops, it is a bit confusing.
Yeah, it is. But I think overall, if it's a decent beer, it's a decent beer, isn't it? At the end of the day, it's a twist on it.
Yeah, I'm saying that one. I can't remember what it was called. I've got the can in the shed. It was lovely. So I'd be interested in this butterfly effect. And we all know if you go to a Brewdog bar, their guest beers are fantastic generally.
Yeah. I always go to the guest beers before their own beers because they do have some interesting stuff. I know when we went to Cardiff for 4 days, we went to the Brewdog there and they had some cracking guest beers on. Just couldn't be bothered with their own stuff.
No,
their own stuff you wouldn't buy because you can get it cheaper in a supermarket. Generally, if you're going to buy that stuff.
Yeah, true. True though, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm not going to pay £5-6 a pint for something I can get for a can for £3.
Exactly.
I bought Wanda a layer cake today. She likes layer cake.
Yeah, layer cake. Yeah, that's all right.
Chocolibra is the one I liked.
That was the Mexican stout.
Yeah, I like that. That was different.
Yeah, I remember that. I did that when Wanda was in hospital with Leah. I seem to remember.
Yeah, it's different. It was decent, and the Jet Black Heart in the can was decent as well.
Alan Mead said we were discussing this just before we pushed the button. Actually, raising a beer to Robbie Coltrane this evening, a great actor. Sad to hear that. Sad to hear
that. Fantastic actor.
That'll confuse the head out of everybody. That will.
He's 50. He's 55 this time next year. So he's.
The Mallow Laser Quest. Yeah. My laptop's gone a bit spacky. Hang on. It's only a cheap one. It doesn't like too much work. It's a bit like me. At this point, I'd like to introduce the northern correspondent to Scott and Wanda's World, Mr. David Thompson.
Hello, David.
He sends me a lot of stuff on Instagram, telling me about new beers. So, David Thompson, thank you ever so much for everything you do for this channel. It really is appreciated, mate. It's nice that there are people out there that you sort of get to know, but you don't know. It's a weird, and I know we'll all agree with this. It's a fucking weird thing with YouTube.
It is.
Yeah, I mean,
when I open these doors, I've got letters from people who sent me letters with beers and letters, and I stick them up.
Death threats, they are, JB. Death threats they are, mate.
No, well, it could be, but no, they're not. They've just got to let us go, and I'll stick them up there, and it's a good motivator. It does. It just keeps you going.
It's
twice as nice mafia.
Yeah, don't play hard beer, you arsehole.
Yeah, I might be after tonight. I might be wanting mad after drinking.
It's almost like we've had a few emails over the years where it's like, thank you for your videos and you've cheered us up and all that. And within the shit of YouTube, there is some nice moments in it. There is. I mean, we've been stopped a couple of times, and it's always nice to be able to sort of shake someone's hand and say sort of thank you and sort of or hear something nice back.
Yeah. It's the good things do outweigh the bad things, I think.
Mark says those beers that JB has will be in the Beer 52 Advent calendar.
Never. Really? Crikey.
You wouldn't put it past him. I gave up on Beer 52.
Yeah.
Crikey. I never knew that.
Couple of Moretti this evening, then on to some craft stuff.
Oh, that sounds great.
Mark Jones says, happy Friday, everyone. Sorry, but on the punk again. I dip in and out of punk these days. There are much better beers for a reasonably the same price these days, but as an accessible beer and not, excuse me, a knockback beer, it does its job, I suppose, these days.
Of course it does.
Yeah, the price reflects that now as well, doesn't it? You know, it's relatively cheap IPA, and I suppose it's the spot, doesn't it? After you've had a crap day at work and you just want to a knockback beer, it fits into that category now, I guess.
Of course it does. It's a bit like Gamma Ray, I suppose. I put them two together now. Really, Gamma Ray and punk.
We're doing that on Sunday, Dean, and we Gamma Ray.
Yes, we are, mate. Yeah, Gamma Ray, and what was the other one?
Sierra Nevada.
Yeah.
Oh, Sierra Nevada is a cracking beer.
Scott, your videos are brilliant. Thank you very much. I don't put any effort in really these days. I'm very lucky where what's he doing? Eating what? He's a bastard, isn't he? Yeah, I must have put it there when I was cleaning up earlier. Basically, if anything that's not nailed down, he'll be chewing in a minute. Yeah, I'm lucky. I've said this a lot of times. We changed our channel up from beer to whatever we wanted to do. And obviously, Wanda doesn't always want to be on camera. She hates being filmed completely. So she does now what she said to me the other day. It's got quite beer heavy again. I was like, that's only because you don't want to. Quite rightly, you don't want to do so much. And turning the camera on for 5 minutes is easy for me these days. It's something I didn't like doing on my own originally. I've got a bit happier on my own now, but I still prefer having Wanda with me. Yeah.
I mean, it's hard at the beginning when you do YouTube, when you get in front of the camera. It takes a long time to get used to it. It definitely does. I mean, it took me a long time when I started, and I'm sure it would take Dean a long time as well after a while.
Yeah. I think you go in with that. You've got nothing to lose, and you haven't really, have you? No. Even now, really, got nothing to lose. If it goes, it goes. I couldn't give a monkeys. What happens? What I take is more important to me is what goes on out there, not all this. This is a bit of fun and a hobby. If it gets pulled under my feet tomorrow, then so be it. You know.
Yeah, I'm exactly the same. It should be seen as fun and nothing else, really. It's not to be taken too seriously, anyway.
I mean, there's nothing wrong with being passionate about something.
No,
the
passion's there. It's just the way, I don't know, you portray yourself. Sometimes I can watch people and I don't really connect with them. And there's some people I watch, I do connect with them. It's just one of them things, isn't it?
Yeah, I get you.
I think you will gravitate towards. I mean, I went a period where I first started. I watched everybody, and obviously at that point there wasn't that many to watch. Now there's loads now.
There's loads,
I watch. I pick and choose I'm very, very picky and choosy what I watch these days, and who I watch and who I interact with, and it's just I think you naturally find your own. I noticed Paul's in Rate My Beer. I watch bits and pieces of Paul. I don't watch everything of everybody anymore. I don't have the time because I used to try and cram everything in, but I don't do it. I can't.
Yeah. It's
true.
wrong of you to say that when you can't say that you support everyone, because it's just not physically possible, is it? There's just not enough hours in the day to pat everybody on the back, really. You know.
No,
that's very true.
And I was like you. I like you, Dean. I like to pass on the if a new channel starts, or like try and help people out, and sort of I'm in a position where I can help a few people out. I will. Some people take the piss out of that, and it makes me not want to do it anymore. But I still try. You know, that's who I am. To be fair.
Yeah. Yeah, there's definitely channels out there that don't get the recognition they deserve, or the views, or however you want to put it. You know, they definitely could do with that hand down and pulling them up a little bit and giving them a little bit of airtime, shall we say, on your own channel and promoting and stuff like that.
I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I think the day you insulate your own channel from everything is. Someone said to me, there was a comment made on a video saying that we're all in competition with each other.
No.
Well, I don't see it. I don't see it like that. To be fair, I've never seen it as competition.
No, it's not. It's not.
No.
It's not. It's the least what you think about. It really is.
I just a bit weird, to be fair. It was a weird comment.
I think there's definitely channels out there that like to puff their chest out a little bit and pageant around with, shall we say, unaffordable beers. But
I don't disagree with that. I mean, I'm very honest now that most of my stuff is supermarket based because that's what I can afford. I'm not a fucking multi-millionaire, you know. Me and Wanda fund the channel that we get a little bit back in through ad revenue and that, but I still work. The channel runs at a loss every month, you know, without fail. So I'll buy what I can afford. I pick up. I'm lucky. I could pick up the Elusive Brewing every now and then because I like them and I can get to them through different channels, but I support local as well. If there's a new local beer out, I try and pick them up and showcase them so other people around the country can see what they're picking up. But me and Dean had this conversation, JB. The days of me showcasing £9-10 beers, they're probably done.
Yeah, I get what you mean. I get what you mean on that. Yeah.
I'll only buy expensive beers now when the channel pays for it. I can't bring myself to use my own money on cans of beer that are £8 plus. You know, I just can't do it anymore. I can't justify it anymore now because of, you know, everybody's cost of living's gone up. Some things have to, you know, you have to cut your cough accordingly, don't you? You know, and
of course you do, yeah.
You know, them days are gone. So if I'm buying beer like tonight, I pay for these out of my own pocket, and they're cheap and cheerful beers, but they're good. They're still good, solid beers.
Yeah, that's still good beers, exactly.
Yeah.
Whereas JB's paid for his out of his pocket, and they're fucking brain every one of them.
Yeah, you've been stitched up, mate. There's no two ways about it.
Oh no, well, you know, it's all a bit of fun, isn't it? That's what it's all about. I gotta attempt this in a minute.
Jesus Christ. Ben's in. How you doing, Benjamin? Hope you keep it well.
Ben.
Has BVM grown a beard? I doubt it. I would have thought so. He got any hair on his head, does he?
That's what most fully 54-year-olds do now, grow beards, isn't it?
Yeah, well, 50 who's coughing? Is that Wanda? Hope you're okay. Yeah, she's got the C. Can't say the C word. Oh, can't say it. COVID. Got it.
That C word, right?
Yeah, not the other one, not the really. Not that one. Let's not get convinced. Let's not get really sort of out of control here. She's got a bit of a cold. Not felt well. Sid Cannon, how are you, mate?
Hello, Sid.
Nipping Lidl, the Cocoa Wonderland by Thornbridge at the minute. I picked Wander up 2 for
It's
yesterday.
a banging beer.
Them. I picked up another
beer.
2 today. Cracking beer, Cocoa Wonderland.
It is absolutely wonderful beer. That
Thornbridge, they're a good brewery. We did this when we did Jaipur the other week. We were sort of reminiscing a little bit about, it was a gateway brewery to a lot of people that was getting into this geeky beer thing. Opened the door to a lot of people's eyes, and they're partially to take credit for as well, not just Brewdog, but Thornbridge had a big play in it as well.
Yeah, they did. I think that gets forgotten as well.
They're overlooked, but they never let you down, Thornbridge. I've never had a bad beer from them, to be honest. Ever. They've been solid. You get what you pay for with them all the time.
Ben says, I don't mind a Brewdog, but they are not craft.
No.
Yeah, simple, big beer.
If you can accept that in your mind, then that's fine. Yeah.
Hang on a minute. Please wait. Bear with. JB has taken a sip of the Twice of Nice.
I'm not going to swear. It's not good.
You can swear on this channel, mate. I don't give a shit.
But I'm going to try and attempt to drink this because I did buy it out of my own money.
It's crap, innit? It's still crap.
I don't know what they're trying to achieve by it. I really don't.
Well, the first thing that gets on my tits is they call it a double IPA, and it's 6%.
Yeah, that's no double IPA.
Stop lying. Don't lie
It's
to
very
me.
thin as well, isn't it?
It is thin.
It's
What do you? Yeah, session do. Session screen wash is what it fucking is, mate. It's horrible.
I think it is. It's not good. I wouldn't recommend it, but I'm going to persevere.
I'll tell you what. I wouldn't recommend that to the. I'm trying to be politically correct. The people that are suffering in life around on the bench around by the post office. I wouldn't recommend them.
No,
it's fucking shocking.
I don't know what it is, to be honest. It certainly isn't double IPA. I really don't know what that is.
I'll tell you as well. If you pick up that little one, it's called. It's not that one. It's the other one. Coastal Hopper. Hang on, I'm coming round. Coastal Hopper.
Oh, Stuart Brewing.
Yeah. My review on that is out tomorrow. Let's just say I didn't lose my shit, but I could well have done.
I thought Stuart Brewing weren't bad, really. Maybe it's just me.
It just, mate, and please, I think I said at the end of the video, go and watch other people's reviews of it, because I think that's really important. Don't take one person's view on something, because we're all different. What I don't,
of course we are.
You two may well like, and and that's why I don't give a rating of anything out of 10. Who am I to rate anything out of 10 for fucking anything?
That's exactly why I've never done it. I've never done it.
Yeah, I've never seen. Yeah, because at the end of the day, I mean, what you're saying on camera, I think is enough information. You don't need to badge it up with a number at the end of it.
No, I don't feel as though I'm an expert enough to give it a rating.
Well,
I think it's a bit stupid. It's a bit stupid to do that.
Yeah, the word expert is overused, shall we say?
It is.
That's snobbery creeping in, though, isn't it? When you do that.
Yeah. I mean, you're putting yourself on a pedestal as well when you do something, because you're gonna get a load of crap if people were.
Listen, I like Star Wars. I love Star Wars. I know a lot about Star Wars. I wouldn't class myself as an expert on Star Wars by any stretch of the imagination.
No, I think it's you're interested in what you like, and I think for anybody to really tell people out there that beer's 2 out of 10 or 3 out of 10 or 9 out of 10, I think it's wrong. I think it's down to the individual. We're only here to guide you, you know.
For anybody that looks at
you enjoy, you're comfortable enough to say that you enjoy and appreciate beer. You don't need to say, "Oh, I'm an expert on beer," sort of thing. So I think it's just
there's no such thing as an expert on YouTube about beer.
If you look at West Coast IPA, you ain't going to go far wrong with that. So give Elusive Brewing some love. Absolute belter of a beer, that is.
That holds up to the American stuff. That does.
It's fantastic, mate. I mean, the owner and the brewer, a guy called Andy. So I'm led to believe he was a home brewer that was making homebrew beers, and then he won a few competitions, and they kept saying to him, "You really need to start making your own beer properly," and that's how Elusive came about. And the thing I really like about Elusive is their branding, because in a world where branding is really important, that sticks out.
Yeah,
and it's a homage to days gone by as well, isn't it?
Yeah, every one of them sort of 8-bit, 16-bit stuff, and the beers that are in the can, the ones I've had have been absolutely superb.
That's correct. Yeah, I think we all do buy with our eyes to a degree, don't we?
Yeah,
we do.
Very
can't help it
because it draws you in.
Of course, it
does. How many times we can all put our hands up and say that we've a nice piece of artwork on a beer can or bottle has caught our eye and we bought it. Whether it's bad or good, we bought it because solely on that branding.
Exactly.
I don't disagree with a single word of that, because your eyes pick everything up. So how many times have you gone past something? And also, how many times have you picked something up that you've missed the first 4 or 5 times because it doesn't stick out and it's been fantastic, and you think, why did I pick it up before?
Yeah.
It's funny you mentioned that. There's a brewery called Rivington who I absolutely really, really adore. I think they're brilliant. But the cans don't stick out on the shelf because it's kind of like a quite conservative wrap around them. But the beer is absolutely banging. Every beer I've had, a Rivington beer, they've been really, really good.
They're 500ml cans as well, aren't they?
Yeah, 500ml cans as well.
Proper cans.
Really, really good. Really good.
Proper cans of beer. That's what you want.
Yeah. Proper portion.
I'll tell you what's happened this week with me was this.
I saw this.
Oh, yeah.
I saw that. It erupted out of your can, JB.
Middle of the night, that happened. It was on Thursday morning that happened. I emailed Vocation. They were brilliant. Vocation were brilliant. They sent me a pack of 4 beers today, just supermarket beers. But the way they reacted was brilliant, fantastic. So big thumbs up to Vocation for that. They're kind of like.
I could name
don't get that with a lot of breweries.
I could name a brewery that response absolutely shames it, because I reviewed one of them.
I think both of you can.
Yeah. So I'm going to do it. I don't give a shit. Top Rope Brewery. So I did. Wanda bought me a box of beer that she did with the beer calendar last year, and one of their beers was called an American Lager. It was the Ultimate Challenge. Opened it, and there was two cans of it and different wraps, and they were both dreadful. They were both sulfury, and they were gone. So I put the video up. They contacted me actually on Twitter saying, really sorry that beer had been recalled. I said, okay. I said, well, we haven't got a recall email at all. So they said, okay, can you send the order over? So I sent the order Wanda had said, and they said, yeah, that's absolutely fine. No worries, we'll send you out a new batch. I waited. And then I remember sending it, speaking to Dean about it. And I sent a new message saying, I left it about 3 weeks. I sent a message saying, I'm just wondering if you ever sent the beers out. And they said, yeah, I sent them. We've sent them. Haven't they arrived? I said, no, they haven't. And they went, and they never replied.
Yeah, it's terrible.
So the consequence is, always been a huge wrestling fan. The wrestling theme on the top rope, I've always loved. I'll never buy another beer from them.
That's terrible, isn't it? It's. I mean, I had the issue with a certain brewery near me.
It's 43.
But I can tell you now, I don't think anybody will know what I'm about to say to you. So there's a strong, very strong rumour regarding S43 that it's about to shut.
Really?
Really. Which is a shame. So
that is a shame.
I like their beer as well. I've never had a bad beer from S43.
Nor have I, really. I haven't. But the owner who owns the brewery decided, well, they don't own the building the brewery's in, and it's really old brewing machinery as well. And the owners decided to sell. So there's got to be some people out of a job, and it's a bit shame, really. So
I don't think, and we all, because of this stupid thing we do, we all know. And I've got to get hold of Tim actually from Fallen Acorn, because he's agreed to come on with me and discuss all this. We all know, I think there's been 50 breweries gone this year already.
Yeah.
And it's only going to get more with the cost of their energy costs, their malt bill costs have gone through the fucking roof. Obviously, a lot of these breweries don't own their own premises, so they're renting or they're leasing premises, and they're being priced out of the market.
Yeah, there's just no escape from cost in any direction.
No. They've got the duty issue to deal with, which is just ridiculous.
They're fucked over in every single avenue, and there's going to be a lot more breweries, sadly, that will fall at the first hurdle with this, because they're just not going to be able to keep up with the payments.
Yeah, I totally agree. I think that the ones like the vocations will survive. I think, honestly.
Yeah, your Northern Monks, your vocations.
Yeah, they'll be all right. They'll be all right. It's a small breweries, or sometimes, because I'm a big lover of normal ales, when you go to a small ale, ale bloke in a garage somewhere, he might struggle, but.
So it's a question for you. It's a question for you, Jonathan.
Yeah.
And me and Dean have had this conversation on one of our little chats. So you've got, obviously, near you, you've got S43. You've got a little soft spot for them.
I have, yeah. It's local brewery.
Yeah, absolutely. So Dean, one of his favourite breweries is Verdant. Not local to him, but that's one of his favourite breweries.
Yeah.
I've got Staggeringly Good. I've got Southsea Brewing, Fallen Acorn.
Yeah.
S43, that they are currently struggling. Heineken or InBev or one of the or any of this lot, they come in and say, "We will help you out."
Yeah.
Where do you stand on that?
I'll say go for it. Help them out. The lads, the people who work within that brewery are absolutely devoted to the brewery. I actually applied for a job there about over a year ago. Didn't get it, but it's just the knock-on effect. You're not talking about the brewery. You're talking about the people who supply the brewery. The way they sell their beer. Everyone's going to suffer around, and the beer is really, really good. And it's just a shame that what's happening up there. I mean, the head brewer is an American guy, so he's going to go back to America. He's not very well either. So it's just a shame that no one's come in and taken that brand. So they never had a core range. Last month, they announced the first core beer from S43, and you thought everything was going to go hunky-dory for them. But now it's kind of like they're just selling old batches of beer off on the site, and they haven't really kind of like announced the closure, but we know it's going to come. It's a shame, big shame, but I would love to see, someone come in.
What do you think? What are your thoughts on that, Dean?
No, I completely agree. I think when push comes to shove, you've got to feed your family, haven't you? And if that's all you know, you know, these guys, they live and breathe brewing and creating a new beer, a recipe, playing about with hops and just inventing. It's constantly turning over all the time. You've got to keep going and going to be creative and be noticed. And I think if somebody swooped in with a nice little bit, you know, of a big fat check, that would put all your worries to one side for a while, wouldn't it? Yeah. And you could breathe a sigh of relief and crack on with what you do and what you do good.
I think for me, totally I know me and you touched on this the other week, Dean, and I think for me, as long as the soul of that brewery isn't destroyed,
yeah,
I don't. And the beers, the critical thing is the beer. If the beer doesn't suffer because of the investment that comes in, and the soul stays pretty much. So I don't give a shit. I don't care.
I think that's all that anybody wants, really, from both parties. You know, obviously the brewing conglomerate have homed in on you, so they've noticed you're creating a little bit of a buzz, shall we say, with the beers that you're making. They've took notice, so straight away they've got pound notes in their eyes. They're thinking, well, we can make a pretty penny out of these guys. They've got a good brand. They're making some good beers. We're going to swoop in with a check and say, I don't know, we can put all your logistics eases to one side, and we've got a bigger reach. We can put your beers in bloody America, Europe, blah blah blah, wherever, you know. Yeah. But the golden condition is we need to recoup a bit of that money back from the golden ticket and play about with the recipes. That's when it all starts falling apart.
Yeah,
people I think walk away from it, don't they?
Yeah, I think it's the playing about with the recipes. I think, which is, you know, which is.
And we all know beers where that's happened.
Yeah. And
it'll still happen. It'll still happen. They've got to recoup. They've got to recoup somewhere along the line. They don't want to lay people off.
No.
So it's the actual product, and it's like we'll start just taking little bits out of it, see if that matters, and then we'll
see if anybody knows. And more importantly, that will anybody notice?
Yeah. They will.
Anybody notice?
You do eventually.
You do.
Yeah.
You do, and it's your heart sinks actually when you do notice, because you've gone from a brewery which you totally respect and you love their beers and you like them because of the beer, then suddenly it starts to diminish. But if it keeps people in a job, then you what can you do? You know,
I mean, the classic example of that is Beavertown, isn't it? Really?
Yeah.
Where they're
still riding on the brand, though, aren't they? They haven't stripped that away. That vibrant can of beer, the Gamma Ray, especially. Well, I mean, what a standout can of beer, and it even still is to this day. But
it is.
Jesus, what's inside it? Completely different ball game.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. It's they've been very disappointing, their beers, but the can art. You know, take away a bit of the budget of the can art and put it into the beer. That's what I'd say.
You look at Brewdog; they're a completely different ball game, but they're so worried about their influence on the planet, on this carbon negative bollocks and all the bullshit they put on the side of it. Concentrate on the fucking beer. If the beer's okay, people are going to buy it. You haven't got to put all this bullshit and waste all your marketing budgets on this rubbish. It doesn't matter. People don't care. I don't want to read about how many fucking trees it's fucking saving. I don't give a shit.
No, I'm sorry.
I just want what's in there for what I paid my money for to be decent.
Yes.
They've just put their fingers in too many pies now, haven't they?
Yeah.
Because of the actual growth of the company from where they started to where they are now. I mean, it's fucking phenomenal, and they just feel, again, maybe they feel like it's their right now. They've built themselves up to make this massive empire, and they can stand on the top of it and shout whatever they feel like shouting and moaning about, or whatever. I don't know.
I mean, I just want them to make decent beer at the end of the day. I mean, all the politics of shouting from the rooftop.
Yeah.
And I think they got too big too quick, and there's an air of arrogance around the place. And I think that's the thing about it.
The Hop House makes a good point. So beer reviewers, at the end of the day, are beer fans. It's one thing we all have in common. Why on earth would you be nasty about others? It's all one community. I don't agree it's one community. I don't agree it's one community. That I don't agree with.
No,
it's not a community. No, it's not.
I do agree. At the end of the day, I'm not a beer reviewer. I'm just someone who enjoys a beer, and I'll tell you if I like it or don't like it. That's me. I don't profess to be anything. I don't profess to know what I'm fucking talking about, if I'm honest. I'll pick a couple of flavours out here and there, and that's about it, mate. I'm off to go and enjoy my beer.
Yeah. It's an opinion, isn't it? That's all it is. Nothing more, nothing less. It's an opinion on a product.
And what you'll find with the and I've said this time and time again, Eddie. I like Eddie. Eddie's a nice guy. The community isn't us. We're not the community. It's you guys that watch. You're the actual beer community. We're the people that facilitate that community. We're the people that give you and the you guys an opportunity to interact with each other. We ain't a community.
Exactly.
It's you guys.
Exactly. The real stars are the people who are watching. Always have been.
Absolutely.
They make the community.
Yeah.
Not the people doing the videos. It's the people making it.
Yeah. And more the merrier for the people that are making the videos, though.
Yeah.
I've always saluted anybody's bravery to feel like they've got the minerals to actually stand in front of a camera and review a beer or review whatever, just to do YouTube, I guess, per se, because it's as Dave was saying earlier on, it's a fucking nightmare sometimes. It's a minefield, isn't it?
True.
Yeah. And to be fair, it's as serious as you take it. I've been there. I've been serious about it, and I'm very lucky. I had a good couple of people that pulled me away from that light of being quite serious. One of them's this guy up here. And the other guy is, I make no bones about the fact that me and Dave are very good mates. And he has helped me enormously. And Chris the Butcher, helped me enormously to keep my feet on the ground and not be a complete arsehole 90% of the time. I'm sorry. Actually, I've missed someone that is the vastest thing, and she sat over there because she keeps my grounded. I've said this more than once: is that Wanda could quit work tomorrow, and I could employ her on a full-time job, and her job was to be to literally just keep me out of the shit.
That's a hell of a job then.
Well, yeah, I mean, to be fair, she would get a lot of overtime as well. It would be an enormous undertaking for them. I mean, she is a very patient lady, is Wanda. And I'm very, very lucky because without her, none of this happens. And she's I like Wanda as a beer review. She doesn't review a great many beers these days, but the channel is always brighter when she's on it.
Yeah, you work better together.
She's innocent in what she says as well.
Yeah.
It comes from a point of innocence, and I don't have an agenda, but Wanda comes from a completely different ballpark where she's agendaless, and it's always I love a beer review with Wanda because it can be utter nonsense.
But a good laugh.
Yeah, but a good laugh.
And a good laugh. I think that's what most people want, a good laugh, don't they?
Well, we can turn the telly on and watch all the other shit that's going on in the world. I don't want to turn on YouTube and carry on that shit. I want something that takes me away from that.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. It's
And that's why I've always liked Dean's beer, and you put a little bit of fun into yours, JB. Dean
it's
is
a bit mad at times, right? But
Dean's 3-4 minutes and done, and Dean could say he can say more in 4 minutes than I could say in about 20. And
he can. That's an art form, really.
I'd like to be like you lot though, that have got the confidence to just string it out a little bit longer. But I'm not. I don't know. I don't think I'm cut out for entertaining. Like, I just want to put my view out on a product. I like it or don't like it. There it is. Boom. Take it or leave it. I'm not here to make you laugh and have a joke and everything.
The cabaret and the circus.
The funny one was, what was the first one we did for the ones that we're going back and doing, Dean?
Fucking hell, mate. Bloody hell.
What was the first one? It was Love and Hate. It was Love and Hate.
Oh, of course it was. Yeah.
We did Love and Hate, and it went 18 minutes. So what happens is, I record them for Dean, and then I send them over to him so he can stick them out on his channel. And then I got a message. He put it up. He went, "Fucking hell, mate! 18 minutes. I'm doing overtime here."
I couldn't go on for 18 minutes.
But that's just bouncing off somebody that you get on with, though, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
You lose yourself. You're not clock watching. I mean, I don't clock watch anyway when I do it on my own. But it doesn't matter. Time's irrelevant then, because you're with somebody that you really like. You're having a beer and you're just shooting the breeze. So that's irrelevant. But me to do an 18-minute review of Love and Hate on my own, no chance. No chance. I can do it. I don't think I could
do it.
Well, I've got no idea how I go because I don't have my phone like that. I have it like that. So I don't know how long I'm fucking chuntering on for. I've got no idea.
Depends how inebriated you are.
Well, I don't go in inebriated, but after 4 or 5 of doing the reviews,
and you do about 4 or 5 together. At the last one, you've been waffling on for about, I don't know, 10 minutes. You've forgot what you said at the beginning of the review.
Right, Sam Smalley, I do apologise, mate. We're about half hour behind with the comments, as usual.
Sorry, waffling
on. Hope you're doing all right, buddy.
Hello, Sam.
Always good to hear from you. Let's chunt through what we've got here. Again, Sam says, I've been loving my West Coast lately. Give me all that pine resin and darkness and bitterness. I completely agree. Craig H, how are you? I hope you're keeping well. What's that? Unky Steve's Ives picked fuck all.
I don't know.
Well, that was his blind uncle.
Oh,
fuck's sake! We got a text message the day that Steve died. So this is anybody that's watched Dave's channel. He had Unky Steve and Auntie Sue, both blind. So we get a text message saying, just to let you know, guys, Unky Steve's died today. And we're both like, oh, we're really sorry to hear that, Dave. He's like, yeah, so much to see. You know, oh. Shit house. Well, just skip through we can. Beardy Beer Reviews. Brett's in. How you doing, Brett?
Hello, Beardy. How you doing, mate?
He's another good lad, though. He is.
He's a good lad.
Yeah, a young Brian Blessed. He is.
He is. Gordon's alive.
The whole system is done. I have bought 5 beers for 23 quid today. Other than Christmas, this will be the last time. It's either that or eat or heat at a minute, and I can't say the wonder. I was lucky. I got these beers today. I went to pay for them, and my mate bought them for me. So we can have a Chinese tonight. So we're eating. Otherwise, I'm telling Wanda to wrap up in a blanket.
A lot of people are faced with that. You know, I mean, yeah, we laugh and joke about it, but it's the fucking truth, though, isn't it?
It's getting to the point now where
getting that way.
These politicians need to kind of like wake up. I think we got the wrong people in charge. To be honest.
So Eddie says, have you guys heard of Bruiser? It is a monthly subscription service featuring over 100 breweries. It's £38 per month. I ain't paying that. For 8 to 12 beers a month, depends on the brewery.
Nope.
Yeah, but I pick the beers I want now. So
yeah, but you can choose the brewery, can't you, from where they come from?
But you pick the brewery. Okay, so there's 100 breweries involved in the thing. £38
So you pick
a
a
month.
brewery to send you a box, Andy, or
Of their beers and stuff.
So you pick I'll make a note of that. I've not heard of that. I don't know if you guys have heard of Bruiser.
no.
Bruiser,
I'll have to let me know. Can you make a note? I'm just going to get the Wanda screenshotted it. She's on it already. So the research and
It'll be done
development
and
team-
dusted.
Yeah, the research and development team is on the ball as ever. I tell you, this is genuinely true. Without Wanda, this channel's fucked because she does so much behind the scenes of finding stuff that I don't find half the stuff that goes on these days. It's generally her or David Thompson. First beers I had from S43 was a Snickers Stout. I've got that. That was called.
I remember that.
That was cool. I've got the can in. It's called "You're Not You." You're not you when you're thirsty.
Yeah.
And then they got hit with the lawsuit.
They had to
They did,
rework it, didn't they? Yeah.
And it became the beer with no name.
Mm.
Beer with no name.
Lovely beer. They
remember
got sued over the branding. I have a can in the shed. I picked up Polly's this month, North Brewing next month, and Beacon. Oh, if that's that Bruiser, that ain't a bad deal, is it? North Brewing, Polly's, Beak. So there's some big breweries involved in that.
Yeah,
I've just done my first beak actually.
Beak are good. They're down in Lewis in Brighton.
Lewis. Yeah.
Great stuff.
Yeah, they make some interesting beers. Again, I think they're an IPA orientated brewery, but they do mess about with I think they do a decent lager, or did do a decent lager, and a good MP stout.
Eddie says, Wanda, I'll give you a £5 off your first box and you can cancel at any time. The £38 is inclusive of delivery. Interesting.
That's not bad, actually.
What is your favourite lager?
Cool.
There's a lot of cheek puffing going on here.
I mean, it's a hard one, isn't it?
That's a Carling. Go on, do it.
No, it's not Carling. No. Does that include Pilsners? Does it, or?
Let's broaden that to lager stroke Pilsner.
You can't go on with Pilsner Urquell, really, for me. You can't.
Well, I can't argue with that.
Yeah, you can't for the money and everything and availability. You can't.
No.
I'm going to show you the message that just come through on my WhatsApp. So, what is your favourite lager? Dave the Blue Van Man says, Madry, every day.
Nah.
Anybody that doesn't know, Dave is now 94% Madry.
I mean, to be fair, I thought it was all right. But when I reviewed it, I thought it was all right. And I had it before I reviewed it, and I've had it after I've reviewed it. It's not a bad beer for the price. But I'm not saying I'm right and you're wrong, and vice versa. That's just my opinion on it. I didn't mind.
Yeah.
Didn't mind it.
On my line.
There's a gazillion lagers out there, though, isn't there? And
that's
an impossible question in a way.
Augustina lager beer.
Yeah, exactly.
If that was in the supermarkets, then that would be the best lager ever.
Yeah,
it might be fine now, but it's hard to get hold of, isn't it? You have to dig around to get a bottle of that.
You got the Paulana Munich Gold, and
yeah, well, that's in Tesco, isn't it? That beer.
Yeah, it's a banger, isn't it?
Eddie said that he tried Camden Hells for the first time ever yesterday, believe it or not, and he thought it was decent.
It was actually.
I don't disagree with that.
It wasn't bad. It wasn't a bad beer, actually.
Anyone stay in the Brewdog hotels in Manchester or Edinburgh?
No.
Are they any good? No.
But you might be like 40
yeah.
towers, that.
Travel lodge all the way.
Anyway, just my mate Dan. So I've got we've got a new feature, and this is an exclusive. No one knows. We've got a new feature coming to Scotland One as well, which is called. I don't know what it's going to be called yet. It's basically beers I don't want to review.
But you're gonna do it.
So no, I'm not doing them. My mate Dan's going to review them for me.
Oh, he's
so
I'm
going to introduce a beer, and he's got to give me a 3-word review. So I'm really looking forward to it. He's picked up this berry bonbon thing from Lidl, the strawberry milkshake IPA.
I think my wife's bought that for me.
Yeah,
Great.
and so his challenge is to give me a review in no more than 3 words and what he thinks of it. So I don't know when it's going to come. I don't know how far it's going to go, but I think he's got some legs on it. It can be quite amusing.
I think it will be. I like to know what words he's got to use.
Oh yeah, they'll all be abusive. Format. He said it was on keg.
I just drunk that and survived.
Well done, mate. You won't survive to the morning. Well, your guts won't anyway. So Eddie's bought it on keg. The days of me buying perfect draft kegs at the price they're currently at, they're going to be few and far between these days, I think.
Once in a blue moon for me, anyway. So
we've had this discussion, Dean, haven't we?
Yeah.
Do you think?
Puts you off.
Yeah, but do you think that someone somewhere has decided I've got a really good beer machine and I want to sell a load? How am I going to sell a load? Do a good deal on the beer. They get 250,000 of them sold, and suddenly they change the prices of the beer. Do you ever think that, or?
I don't know. I think that obviously these beer machines, and we're talking like the Krups and the Perfect Draft and the Pro. I know you've got the Beer Monster as well. I've never been invested in the Beer Monster. That's just personal opinion. Obviously the PD and the Krups both grew exponentially during lockdown, where people couldn't go out. So they sold. I mean, they were sold out for fucking months. You couldn't get them. So the prices were still pretty good. You had all your keg fucking bits and bobs.
It was reasonable, wasn't it? Reasonable price.
And I know I took some stick for this when if I buy a keg, I'm buying a keg because that's what I can afford. I can't afford to be going to buy 3 kegs at a time, hoping to get 15% off and all this bits and bollocks behind it. I haven't got 90 quid, 60, 70 quid, 80 quid to spend on a keg of beer. And then I tell Wanda she can't eat for a week. So, and that was my issue with it. That I know that they're trying to incentivize you to buy more kegs.
Yeah.
And I bought the Punk IPA keg for £43. That's what it cost me. It was £5 delivery. I had £5 beer token. So I paid, well, why didn't you buy more? I didn't have the fucking money.
Yeah,
and now
I haven't got the funds to do that myself.
And they've kept. I know they're not the only company, so I'm not shitting on Beer Hawk here, but because everyone's putting their prices up, but they've put their prices up twice now in the space of months. I just think it's unacceptable. The whole point of these machines is it's supposed to make drinking at home more or cheaper than going to the pub, and it's not that far away now.
You're
left with that and ahhing decision now, aren't you? Whether to get a keg or actually go down your local for a couple of pints.
Yeah.
Whereas before it was, I'll get a keg because it's damn sight cheaper.
Yeah.
But now you've got that. I think, bugger it, I'm going to go down the pub. So it makes it kind of redundant, doesn't it? When they're on par with the same sort of, not all the kegs, obviously, but the majority of them, you think, I'll just go down the boozer, I'll go down Weatherspoons.
It's a good point, isn't it?
And that's where, I mean, I haven't bought a keg for my PD. So the last one I bought was the Life and Death, I think, which was very nice. But I can't justify £30 odd, £40 for a keg. I can't.
Yeah, I'll just do. I might do one around Christmas. I'll probably do one in January for my birthday because the chances are the in-laws will probably buy me a keg, and that'll be it really for me. I'm not really that invested in it, you know. I'll take it or leave it. I'm not going to rush out and buy new kegs and stuff like that. So it just doesn't appeal to me really. But this is. No. I'm not going to. No, this is a good bit of kit, really. When you've got the funds and you've got a keg of beer in there, it's a good bit of kit.
Yeah,
it's a little bit pricey sometimes, but again, that's down to everybody's budget. Everybody's budget's probably different.
Yeah, exactly, and I think that's what gets lost on some people sometimes is we're all in different financial positions, and we all cater towards what we can all afford at the end of the day. It's and that's I know Paul's in and he does all the kegs, and that's no slight on Paul.
No.
What you can afford at the end of the day, and it's just how life is, unfortunately.
It is.
It is.
Yeah, it's just one of them things, isn't it? It's just like you say, people with different circumstances. You know, it's just one of them things. But you know, I sometimes think whether or not they've kind of like done it on purpose because I sold a lot of machines, and I think
at the end of the day, the way this world works, JB, you wouldn't put it past people. To be fair, Peter Ellis said, "Hi guys, I'm new here, and to all of your channels." As Peter, go and sub to JB Northern Southern Beer Reviews.
Cheers, Peter.
Reviews as well. Chris the Butcher led me here. Loving the content of you all. Biggest love from Liverpool. Have a great evening, mate. Thanks for stopping by, and have a great weekend.
Yeah. I think, Scott, you should do that, by the way.
Only if Wanda does it with me.
I think you should do it. She likes stouts, doesn't she? She'll love that.
Yeah, that's in Aldi, is it?
Yeah, it's in Aldi.
I'll have a look. I'll come have a look tomorrow. Beer Snob 12, this is one for you, Wanda. When's the next Spooky Sunday? Oh, right, okay, Wanda's already replied. Apparently I'm that far behind. That wasn't a dig. Dean's the granddad of beer reviewers.
Oh, that's a good point, actually.
No. No, you've got other people. I mean, hopefully, I know for a fact JB would back me up on this one. The great late Terry Kay.
Terry Kay.
Yeah.
The bee's knees of, he was one of my first guys that I started watching.
I think I see me and Dean as the second generation. We had a first generation. We had the guys what influenced me and Dean. So you got Hopzine, Terry Kay, you know, all that.
Mr. McFadden, Soapy King Drunky.
Again, often overlooked as well, but he's there.
Me and Dean were due to do a live with Danny.
Yeah.
Was it this year? Last year.
Yeah.
And then Danny disappeared off the radar, as he quite often does. We all know of the stuff that goes on with Danny. So I know, and then he retired, and now he's back again. So I will reach out to Danny again because he is a man. Like you, JB, that I've always wanted to speak to on a live stream because he is, again, one of the founder members.
He is, and it was that without this first generation, I don't think me or Dean would ever be here. I honestly don't, because we must have been watching them before. I've been watching Terry Kay 3 years before I started. Definitely.
Yeah, I mean, beer goggles. Yeah, he was. I was watching his stuff. Yeah, again probably 2 or 3 years before I even thought about doing some guys. It never even popped into my mind.
No,
I just enjoyed watching some guy reviewing a beer that I hadn't heard of before, because I've always been intrigued with beers that I've never seen. I thought, I've got to try that. I've got to give that a go. So I suppose it's a gateway into doing this, because
it was for me.
You're keen to try new stuff anyway, and he was one. Yeah, definitely one of the first. and Danny as well. So if he was drunk, Tuvar.
Tuvar, he went off the radar, didn't he? Tuvar.
Yeah, he did. Yeah.
And look, I've had my issues with the man, but even Simon, without Simon, a lot of us would be here.
You put him into the equation, but I think, and again, I'm not on it. I'm coming on here to have a dig or anything like that. But the content that I used to watch of that man 7 or 8 years ago was completely different.
Mm-hmm.
That's just my opinion now.
I'll be honest, Simon was there, but I never really actually watched him. I was too engrossed with Terry Kay, really, to be watching anybody else, to be honest. He had such an influence.
I'm just reading a comment from Sid Cameron. I bought the stout pack from S43.
Yeah.
I'll be putting the comments up as we go. I'm not going to read them all out because I want to interact with you guys as well as the guys in chat as well.
Yeah.
I bought the stout pack from S43 last Christmas and again a couple of months ago. Shame if they're going down the pan.
If this is it, I mean,
I think everybody's for my phone, lads.
Yeah, everybody's kind of pretty upset about it, especially where I am because it's all local to me. Local box shops are not, are disappointed because they are very, very popular. I mean, when I first heard the news, my heart sank a little bit because they did do some fantastic stuff, but we have got some great breweries in the northeast, which can replace them, not replace them, but to go to. Full Circle's one of them, which is a brilliant brewery in the northeast. And we've got Anarchy, Alpha Delta, where we are, and we got lots of different breweries up there. But S43 was always a very lovable brand to have up here, I think, because the beer was good.
Yeah, and I think that's I think it's really sad, and I think there'll be more as well with the costs of running these places. Obviously, their energy bills are sky high. I was told they're there because of the obviously everything, the packaging, a lot of it comes from the Ukraine, so that's pushing prices through the roof. You've got the malt bill I think it's either doubled or tripled this year.
Last night it was doubled, but it might have tripled by now.
Yeah, either doubling or tripling. It's still making it's making it a business that's almost unrunnable.
Yeah, and it's really, really sad to see it because I thought that we were on the crest of the next 10 years at least of brilliant breweries popping up everywhere, and now we're looking at the actual reverse of it. We're actually looking at beloved breweries closing, and it's awful. It is awful.
It is a question. I know me and Dean have touched upon this. Do you think the upcycle of supermarket craft beer has finally peaked?
Oh, it's a tough one, isn't it? Me personally, I don't really go out for supermarket beer as much as what I used to because I've always thought there was a pattern in it. Okay, you always have two really good ones, two really good beers, then you get a load of mediocre stuff, then you get a load of stuff which is downright crap, and it gets to a point where New England IPA is a prime example. That style is absolutely being flogged to death.
Yeah. You
go into the supermarket, it's everywhere, and you start to get a bit tired of it, picking them up. You get a bit,
juiced down.
Deja vu every time. So that's why I think I've just turned away slightly from the supermarket, gone towards what's in my area. Because I think it's important to showcase what you're living next door to. But I think there is a pattern. Do I think it's peaked? I think it'll just regurgitate.
I think Tesco certainly think they have, because if you look at the Tesco range of they were the ones that went big. You're right there, mate.
If I go, I'll go, mate, because I can't. Well, you know the issue that I've got with this fucking phone and its stupid charger.
Get yourself a new phone, mate.
The thing for me, he's saying that I'm due. I can apply for an early upgrade or something like that. So I'll have to have a look around, because this is.
I know you have your issues with it, and it drives you fucking mad. So,
Well, I thought it was the lead to begin with, so I went and bought a new lead, and it ain't. It must be the port that's knackered.
what is it? A USB-C?
Type-C.
Come on.
Yeah, so they wear, don't they?
Yeah.
Oh, good girl.
It just.
There we go.
Yeah. No, I'll just stay on until when I go. It's because the battery's gone.
All right, pal. Yeah, no worries. What do you think, Dean? Because obviously Tesco's, we agree that they've almost given up on the craft beer stuff now. That you've gone from 4 or 5 rows of stuff with lots of 440s and 330s now to 2 rows of it's either Brewdog Vocation or the odd bit here and there.
Yeah, I think it's plateaued now, hasn't it?
Yeah, I think so.
But then again, I mean, you've got the likes of Sainsbury's that are really pushing it now. You're getting a new release of beers from Sainsbury's all the time, but again, is it too little, too late now? I don't know.
Well, they were sort of the last to really enter.
Yeah, they were.
Fold, and it's as if they're like 18 months behind the rest of them, where they still think there's this money to be made there, and so they're not obviously not watching what Tesco have just done by reducing the whole of their craft range down to sort of it's either Brewdog across the top, and some Vocation, some the odd Northern Monk on the odd bit here and there. So they're still going. You got Asda still dipping their toe, trickling along. But I think the let's be this is going to make us a lot of money and draw people in. I think those days are done. So I think
they're gone. They're gone. Yeah. It's at I think it's at its day now. It's been milked probably a little bit too much. I know. Just touching on what JB was probably on about is IPA'd out a little bit with it, where they've really milked and rinsed the hell out of that actual style.
Yeah, we need a new style. I think we need something different. Just
it is all the same for me. They don't do none of the supermarkets touch West Coast in any way that works. I mean, you've got those Brewdog shocking, absolute shite, Puppet Master and Way Out West.
That was with Buxton, wasn't it? That Way Out West, which surprises me because Buxton are a good outfit. I mean,
dog
I don't know what they were thinking with that.
The only decent West Coast IPA I've had from a supermarket was Madness from Wild Beer, which is in Waitrose, which I think you did, Dean.
Yes.
And I think that's the only thing, because the rest of them were just rubbish.
Because you weren't that much of a fan of that Revelator, were you, out of Asda?
No, I didn't like it.
Lane Brewing, wasn't it, or something?
Yeah, I didn't think much of that at all.
That to me, that tasted like what we used to get when we used to get West Coast IPAs from the States coming over to this country. They were past the best, and you used to get that really massive malt drag in there, where it just old beer, really, basically.
Yeah.
It reminded me a lot of that, of trying old American West Coast beers that has got shipped over that were past the best. Again, that was, what was that, £2.50, was it, or £3 a go?
I think it was £3.
£3, okay.
I think it was crap.
I've never heard of them either. I've never heard of Lane Brewery.
Well, Lane Brewery are out of Brighton because they're based in the Lanes.
right.
Okay.
But yeah, it was. I picked it up. I was a massive West Coast fan, but I get I get really. It's the only beer style now that if it doesn't stay what I want from it, I get really fucking angry because I go into it thinking, I'm hoping it's going to be good, and then it just disappoints me. And Wanda will come in and she'll say instantly in my face that I'm really pissed off. And she's like, "It wasn't very nice, was it?"
The trouble is now, Scott, because you've had Oregon Trail multiple times, the fucking bar has been raised, mate. You know what I mean?
I've had that tonight. That is an absolute. If you like a West Coast IPA, all three of these, you aren't going to go wrong. So Oregon Trail,
I'm gonna look for that tomorrow,
mate. It's phenomenal.
Go on your recommendation.
Game Over, which is from Elusive Brewing and Bianca Brewing.
Yeah,
another West Coast. That is an absolute superb. All from got the little tinklings from Elusive, and I'm on this one now, which is a collab of Brew York, which is their Oregon Eagle with Elusive. Another Stormer. I mean, they are proper West Coast IPAs.
I'll have to. I will actually. I'm going to Brew York in about 2 weeks, so I will have a look. They'll have it up there, should be.
They don't like me. I'm selling my perfect draft, you guys. All right, it's just too expensive, even though the beers are top notch. I'm not saying more. Dave's on a bed. Not Dave. Well, he's 54 now.
54.
Benjamin said, "I'm selling my perfect draft. You guys are right. It's just too expensive, even though the beers are top notch." I completely agree. The beers are really good. They are really good.
Oh, yeah. I'd imagine they will be. I haven't got a perfect draft, but I'd imagine like Quack and that will be banging.
Oh, yeah. Was it Le Trappe Blonde on there was cracking.
Yeah, I can imagine.
I mean, the German beers, Lowenbrau, the Jupiler Pilsner from Belgium. The beers, I've had some real good experiences from it. I mean, the Leffe beers on there as well. They're cracking, absolutely. It's the body. I mean, you just get a quality body when it's going down. I mean, it's proper nectar, you know.
Here's a comment. Here's a comment I know you're going to agree on, Dean. It's from Yorkshire Peacocks, 1919.
Yeah,
classic name. I haven't got. Start that again. I haven't got fucking hell. I'll read it about 5 times here. I haven't got crop talk for ages. It's the delivery charges that sting the most.
Yeah, Beer Wolf in it with them. Beer Wolf, fucking $8.99.
Beer Wolf
delivery.
Yeah, used them once. That was terrible.
Yeah. So you got to buy 8 torps to get the delivery free.
Yeah, you got to spend upwards of 80 quid to get free delivery. I mean, yeah, okay. I've got our old fridge in my shed now. Admittedly, it's full of bottled beers and cans of beer, so I probably wouldn't have the room actually for 8 torps to go in there. But I mean, you don't want that. I know it's only 2 litres, but Jesus.
It's really sad. It's really sad because the beers that I've had from that torp machine have been. I mean, that punk IPA I had on that torp was fucking superb. It was superb.
It was easy, wasn't it? As well, it was unfiltered, wasn't it?
It was absolutely fantastic, and it's just really sad that their price. I did a video. It was 18 months or 2 years with the sub, and I went into it thinking it's a dust collector. That's all it is. It's a fucking ornament. and I came out of it thinking, do you know what? I actually want to buy a torp for it. And I haven't bought one since still because I refuse to pay the fucking delivery charge on it.
I don't care what anybody says, whether it be Beer Hawk or Beer Wolf. They've got the clout to say to these couriers, come on, let's come up with some sort of deal here where if a customer only wants to buy one product, we do a reasonable P&P price. It can be done.
Yeah, it's not difficult.
They should do it.
Oh, and the thing they miss out on is the one thing that Beer Hawk do get right is they reward ongoing custom. So you get your keg deposits, you get all your beer tokens.
That is good.
So they do reward that, whereas Beer Wolf just want to rinse you dry.
Yeah. Buy a keg and not get one free because of the PMP.
Buy a keg, pay for it. Buy your top and pay for it, you cunt.
And then it turns up. I mean, I don't know about you, but for $8.99 PMP, I'd want it next day. No arguments. And some people that I was on a thread. I'm not on it anymore now. So I got fed up of hearing all the moaning and everything. But they were saying they were waiting like upwards of a week and a half to get their beer delivered.
Yeah, and then they were getting them, and their talks were they were
out of date, nearly enough. End of date, short shelf life on them.
And they were damaged, and there's been all sorts of stuff with them. It's been an absolute shit show. Eddie says, I'm just about to have my dinner. The missus got an air fryer after banging on about them, and she can't use it properly.
Is it a ninja?
That's brilliant. We love our air fryer, don't we, Wanda? Yeah. It's fantastic.
It's difficult to clean.
It is difficult to clean.
You can cook a roast chicken in them, can't you?
You can. You can.
To be fair,
stick anything in them.
I could probably cook you in it if you could get in the fucking thing. It's fucking fantastic. It's amazing. I mean, you're down. You what?
Bigger one because we have to do a couple of portions.
Yeah, we need a bigger one apparently.
I'm going, guys. I'm going.
Dean's down very soon anyway, so maybe I'll try do a video trying to get him in my fucking air fryer. He's gone.
He's gone.
I'm going to stick him off because he I love Dean. If he comes back, I'll put him back in.
Put him back in.
Tell Jonathan about how we watch these cat videos.
Wanda loves your cat videos.
Oh, I'll tell you what, Wanda can have this one because she's a pain in the bloody butt.
What did you say, Wanda?
The chop.
The chop?
Yeah. One of them was going to have the chop or something.
Oh, yeah. He can have his nuts off.
Yes. He didn't get it done either because his nuts were too small. He didn't get it done. We took him to the vets.
Where is Hugo? Hugo's gone to bed, apparently.
Yeah, he's not mature enough.
Yeah, no, not Hugo, mate. To be fair, but he's got this thing about turning himself upside down. So all you can see is little acorns hanging there. I'm like, what's going on here? And then he's got this thing about where he walks up to you and he farts in your face.
Oh, that's terrible.
Dirty little bastard. Horrendous. Il Corvo, JB says, completely agree. The channels which are hobbyists are much more pleasant.
Yes, I totally agree. That's what it's all about. I mean, the biggest kind of like compliment you can give someone is that you kind of like influence them. And for me, influencing people is what it's all about. Get people up off their sofa, get in front of a camera, review a beer. There's nothing wrong with that at all.
Do you know what? I'm just going to change that. I completely agree. I've got a monetized channel. My channel doesn't make enough money to pay the month to pay for the channel by any stretch of the imagination.
No.
But I've always seen it, and it'll never be anything more than my hobby. You know, I've got a proper job. I've got a life outside YouTube.
Exactly.
It causes. I'm just going to go back to where we were. It causes stress sometimes with some of the shit that goes on, but it's still my hobby.
Exactly. And I think that some people are taken a little bit too seriously. But to be honest, at the end of the day, it's all about having fun, enjoying people, and meeting people, and talking to people, and influencing people. You know, that's the way I come from.
And I don't. I'm lucky. I've been friends with Dean since.
Yeah,
we did a lot. We were 3-4 months into our channel. We had 41 subscribers, I think, when Dean invited us on with him. and we've been firm friends ever since.
Yeah, it's a good thing, you know, bringing people together.
Those are the things that I take from this.
Yeah.
We can all get mired down in bullshit, but I can do that away from this. I just want to have a bit of fun. And do you know what, mate? It's been really. I've said to you earlier. I said to you off screen before we pushed the button to go. I've watched you for probably 4 years. When I found Dean, and then obviously I started the channel, and then we used to do your live streams on a Saturday afternoon.
I will do now and again. I'll do them.
Yeah, and obviously doesn't matter to me. You're a Southampton fan. I'm a Pompey fan. I used to come on, give you a bit of abuse.
Yeah, but I love it.
You gave that back, and I always respected that.
Yeah, I've always seen, from my perspective, watching you, is that you always put the extra effort into your videos, and I like that. I remember your first Halloween video. It was all done kind of like black. No, but you put the effort in. And when you see somebody who putting the effort in, it kind of like shows that they care about what they're doing, and it's great. It really was. I've always been a supporter of your channel, but I don't comment. It's kind of like I've always watched you. And
I'm just going to mention this guy here. So Marcel Wallace.
Yeah.
Real name is Dan, and I know his real name is Dan because Dan is the guy that bought me these beers. So Dan's, but there's a great bottle shop in Newcastle.
There is. He's right. I haven't been there, but I know where it is. Butchers and a bottle shop, and the Hairy Bikers did a episode going in there on one of their episodes. They did, and it's a great bottle shop. I think they moved from Gateshead to Newcastle.
Oh, okay. He's picked me up. He's got me it's in the fridge actually. It's called YIPA.
Why, man?
Why, man? So I'll get around to that sometime next week. So Dan, thank you so much, mate. I've worked with Dan every day. We've become very good friends over February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October. About the last 7-8 months. We're a 2-3-man team, and he's a very nice, decent guy, and very privileged to call him my friend.
Yeah, it's nice when you start to get interaction with good people, isn't it?
Yeah.
I buy majority of supermarket beers as I don't have a proper bottle shop close by.
A vocation always solid. Yeah.
That's exactly what I do when I go to Morrison's or Tesco. It's Vocation, Northern Monk, all of them. You know you're not going to get a bad one.
I think Morrison's must be due another rotation at some point because they haven't had one.
I think they will be up to one
for some time. Thomas says Morton grain has tripled and is due to rise again. There is absolutely no sign of it coming down. Cost of fertilizer is crazy, and the cost of the diesel, agricultural diesel, has quadrupled.
That's terrible, isn't it? But
that just
one of them things. It's
Eddie says good night. Asda have never got started in craft. They keep trying, don't they? But they're not fantastic.
The Asda near me is not very good.
We've got two. We've got two big Asdas, and they're all right. I mean, the trouble is that I think they've gone for the low end stuff.
Yeah. I think
we'll keep it now.
Yeah, it's just one of them things. I think Tesco, Sainsbury's have come a long way. Them main players have kind of like taken over, haven't they?
Yeah. Since lately, I've been buying direct from breweries because I had a couple of naff experiences with supermarkets. So Sid's emailed me a couple of times.
Yeah.
With his comments on bits and pieces, and I know the breweries on about, and I don't disagree with it. To be fair, I think certainly with the supermarket beers. I don't know about you, mate. I don't know how many you buy, but if you're going to buy a new iteration of a supermarket beer, buy it early because within months, it's not the same beer.
You got a good point there. I mean, me personally, I do the supermarkets, but my passion is with me local. I need to. It's a responsibility. I know I've got it out there. I've got people who watch me. Just get your local breweries involved, and for me, it's a route which I love to take. Really, to be honest,
I'm the same. I go with the brewer, the supermarket stuff, but as soon as it's really good or
I mean, I've watched you kind of like you're promoting Staggering Good, really, isn't you, in a way? But they are a cracking brewery. They really, really are.
It is, and Fallen Acorn. I don't do so much. It's difficult for Fallen Acorn because they're the other side of the water. So to go there, it's a ferry trip, which is £9 for each way ferry trip, and it starts at the trouble is if we go over there and they've got a stout called Sift Faced, right, and if Wanda sees that I mean, she's gone. I mean, she's absolutely hammered on Sift Faced. It is a great say. I don't go.
It's 6%. I think it's secretly 9 or something.
Yeah, she said it's 6%, but she thinks it's secretly 9. And I like Four Lake. It's just a bit difficult for us to get to. It costs a lot of money to get there and back before the beer.
Yeah, that's fair enough. I mean, in the south have got some great breweries now, haven't they? Really,
even Southampton, as much as it pains me to say it, my friend,
Unity,
Unity Brewing, Unity are fantastic. Dancing Man, we've been to their tap room. Southampton Brewdog, you've got she likes it in the Southampton Brewdog, but there's some. You've got
Is it Vibrant Forest near you? Is it
Vibrant Forest is down in the New Forest, so that's a bit further away.
Yeah,
but we're lucky, and then you go the other side in Brighton. Unbarred are fantastic.
Yeah, did I noticed? Was it a few weeks ago? You were in Hastings, weren't you?
Yeah, we went for a week.
Yeah, because I come from Eastbourne, so it's kind of close home to me. Like,
I've still got a beer that I reviewed from Hastings, sat in the vault, ready to come out. That I've just never pulled the trigger on. From is it Brewing Brothers Brewing, whatever they were called.
I'm not too sure on what's over there. Like,
it was lovely. It was lovely. So I just never pulled the trigger on it. So that could come out at some point. But we ended up at it was my birthday while we were away. And we ended up at this little tap room. It was lovely, absolutely lovely.
Dean is the man. He is the man. He is. He's a quality bloke. He is. He's lovely.
There's no bullshit with Dean.
No. I've always watched him.
He's my sort of. You've got these little two things on your shoulder.
Is he the devil or the angel?
Well, I've got Wanda. That's my all-seeing eye. Right.
Yeah.
Right, and I've got these other two. So I've got one on this shoulder, which is Dean saying,
"Yeah."
I got Blue Van Man saying, "Fuck him." On the other one, fuck him.
He's got an eloquent style, hasn't he?
yeah. I mean, Dave's his own man.
Oh, he's brilliant. Like,
it's gonna be, even at the wedding.
Yeah.
Dave and that came to the wedding, and I said about my nan. So my nan was 105 when she died. Yeah. So it all goes quiet. I'm doing my speech. I said, about my nan. She was 105, and it all went quiet. And Dave shouts, "It was no age."
Good old Dave.
He's all right. Mate.
He's cracking, isn't he?
He's a good lad. He's 54. Away the lads, they're changing it to away the people.
I'll get mixed up with that one, Sunderland. So I'm not too sure about. I'm not too sure about that one.
Dean's got his phone going again. All the best, lads. Thanks for having me on.
No, mate, it's a pleasure, Dean. It's an honour. It's
always
an absolute honour. Honest, it's been great. Hopefully we'll do it again soon, mate.
Me and Dean are doing this thing at 1 o'clock on a Sunday. We get a couple of beers and we record 2 joint beer reviews.
Yeah.
And then he gets one and I get one. And it's nice because I love Dean a bit, to be fair.
Yeah, he's banging. He's banging. Always loved him.
Love to buy local. Unfortunately, my local brewery rarely release new beer now, and it's impossible to find local that's
what's
really
going to happen, isn't it? I can see that happening. People going direct to the brewery instead of the shop, and I feel sorry for the shop, to be honest.
What I always find mad is when there's a case in point. For my favourite beer this year has been a beer from Unbarred called it was their Imperial Bueno Shake Stout. It was superb. And from the brewery, I think it was £16 a bottle. Big bomber bottle. So
right.
Worth buying.
Yeah.
And then you go on to places like Trembling Madness and it's £13 a bottle. So it's cheaper to buy from these online places than from the brewery itself.
It is. You got a good point there, because funny enough, I was in my local bottle shop about 2 weeks ago, and he was saying exactly the same thing about Trembling Madness selling the cheaper than the brewery. I mean, if I was in charge of that brewery, I'd be going over there and telling them what you're doing. I want more money.
So for me, is that, and I don't know the answer to this, mate. I don't know if you do. Is that just their buying power? So they can buy a load of that stuff and sell it,
and
cheaper.
They can shift it as well.
Shift it, or what? Because if you can't buy it cheaper from the brewery, surely that's a problem. Because all the profits go to the brewery at that point.
Yeah, I'm not too sure. To be honest, they do so many lines of beer online now, Trembling Madness, that they could be like a supermarket, and they're running a line which is not making money, thinking that one line they can manipulate when they're going to make profits on certain beers. I've always thought that, because I do visit Trembling Madness when I'm in York, because York's only half an hour drive from me. So I do go there. Even the shop has changed. You go into Trembling Madness, there's not as much beer now. Everything's going online. And I wonder if they do manipulate certain prices on beer just to get rid of it. I don't know.
Or maybe, or to draw you in to make you buy other things to make up your. I don't know if they do. I've never bought from Trembling Madness. I don't know.
No.
I don't know if they do free delivery over a certain point where you buy.
They do. I think it's £65, £75, something like that.
Right. So whether they're enticing certain beers into your basket to help boost that price up, shall we say?
I would say they do. I think, but to be honest, with the service I've had ordering from online from Trembling Madness.
I was waiting then.
The service I've had from Trembling Madness has always been brilliant. 2 days on the doorstep. It's always been.
I have heard that. I know Dean's put shit. I need to put that last video out we did. Drum roll. It's Green King IPA.
Oh God, twigs in a bottle.
Yeah. To be fair, if you're not a fan of swearing, don't watch that. That's going to be on Dean's channel. Dean's got that one. I had Pilsner Raquel. Dean had Green King IPA.
Oh,
it's quite the beer's not quite fruity. The language is on the review that we both did.
I'll have a watch of that.
Go watch that, because I've not seen that.
Definitely have a watch of that. Definitely.
I think this week we're doing Gamma Ray and Sierra Nevada Pale Ale.
Well, I know the winner out of them two.
It's not difficult, mate, is it?
It's not difficult at all. I think the Sierra Nevada would be knocking the crap out of the old Gamma Ray.
So what are you on now, JB? What are you drinking?
I'm sipping this because it's a sipper. I'll be intrigued for you to pick one up.
I can't think I've seen that. Have we seen that, Wanda? JB, one's going on the big telly. You're on big telly, JB.
Oh, right.
He's about to hold one up. I think he's a little bit behind on the telly. There's one with an ice cream on it, Wanda. It's from Aldi. You're just coming on now. This one.
What's that stout?
It's a stout.
Vanilla flavoured.
Vanilla.
Vanilla.
Yeah.
Sounds quite nice, she says.
I don't know.
JB's reaction says it isn't.
No. If you got a sweet tooth, I'm sure you would like it.
Wonder.
If you got a sweet tooth.
Wonder. What did you just say? How about for the price?
Not bad. Oh God, that's the worst thing you can say, I think.
So no.
I think you should give it a go. I'll be intrigued with that one.
Well, I'll see if I can find it tomorrow. I don't think she's allowed out, so it'll be me hunting. When are you allowed out? Monday she's allowed out. That'd be me. Yeah, I'll go. I don't think I've seen that. They said we've got in on so Pompey is an island.
Yes.
On Portsea Island, we have 1, 2, 3, 4. It's just off of the island. There's 5. We've got 5 Lidl.
Never.
As I sit here,
well, you got 5 of them.
I just want to fucking building them. And it's like. To be fair, if Lidl do a new beer drop release, I'm going to find them quite quickly.
You got to find them, all right.
Aldi, we have 1, 3, and I think they're building another one.
That's crackers.
No, it's Aldi and Lidl.
It's crackers.
They're taking over the fucking world, man. Well, they're taking over Portsmouth. I mean, you can't have a piss for fucking 20 meters without walking into one. It's ridiculous.
Don't do store cards, though, do they?
Nice croissants. Love a croissant.
Oh, I like one. And the pretzels are good.
What did we get? What did I pick up yesterday? Oh, the crusty stick rolls. 27p each.
Yeah.
You can't go wrong. The beers are shit. Food's not.
You might find the odd good one in there.
I haven't this time, mate.
No. I mean, the last one was Barney's. Was it Barney's?
Oh, Wonder loved the Barney's.
I like the Barney's. That was good. It was good.
You like that one, didn't you?
Yeah, it sells out really quickly, though.
Wonder, why didn't you come and sit over here for 5 minutes? It's full of the C word. No one can say COVID.
COVID, yes, right, yeah.
Our situation is COVID. Hello, Laurie. How are you?
Hello, Laurie.
I think away the lads is Newcastle, and
away the lads is Sunderland. Just
England taking over. Germany taking over England supermarkets. Oh my god!
Yeah,
I mean, we're similar age, me and you, mate. And I remember my dearly departed mum before she was a bit selfish and died, and she would go into Lidl. And it was in the days where if you went into Lidl, you were the poor person. Oh, you got the money. Oh, Aldi and Lidl, you're poor people. Ooh. Now, every fucker's in there.
Exactly. I remember that the social type of, look down on the peasants who go to Lidl. But everybody goes now.
Yeah. Every fucker's in there.
Funny how everybody changes.
So, Aldi and Lidl keeping the riffraff out of fucking Waitrose.
Yeah, exactly. Totally agree with that one.
Mark Jones was fucking gone ages ago. Shit, it must be getting serious. I'm constantly looking at my smart meter as I've got the fire on. The fire. Tell you miss it. Tell Vicky, and put a fucking coat on.
Yeah, put
a
a coat
coat on, a blanket.
Oh, that's about that one.
I'm wondering the coldest person in the world. It would be in a kiln, about 1,000,000 degrees in a kiln. I wonder it'd be it's a bit cold. Like, fucking, put your coat on. Is that not true?
Cracking.
Nothing.
Minnie Mouse blanket.
Minnie Mouse blanket.
Minnie Mouse blanket. I'm fine, but last night it was dark October beer. It was okay.
Is that the?
Can't remember that one.
Oh no, the Audi one would have been the Dunkel.
I'm not too sure who brewed that one though. I couldn't tell you.
I've lost all track.
I've lost the plot there. Could be anything there.
Audi is good for loads of stuff. Steaks a spot. What I like when you go, I think I've mentioned it in the complete accident by when I did the West Coast last night. You go into the Lidl and you go for beer, and you come out with a blow up donkey and a fucking goat's bed because you didn't even fucking know you needed because it's in the middle. You think that looks all right.
Yeah, I've done that.
And you've gone in for a fucking some milk and bread and come out with some unneeded shit like a fucking blow up terrapin that you don't actually need.
I'm walking out with 2 grow bags, and I wanted a tin of beans.
And you've got a garden. But it was cheap. It was cheap.
It was cheap, yeah. It's one of them Thursday promotions, isn't it?
Yeah. I had that. I fucking go home. What have you got that for? Well, fucking 50p. Yeah, but you haven't got a garden.
Exactly.
What?
It's like I remember when we went to IKEA in Leeds, and you forget what you drive into IKEA, do you? You just walk around IKEA. Well, I'll have that. I'll have that. I'll have that. I remember we went to the till. We got all the boxes, paid for it. They didn't drop till we got to the car, and you think, well, how the fuck am I going to get out back home?
How's that all getting in the car?
Yeah, you got to do that.
It's a fucking nightmare, isn't it? We go into Lidl, and this must be you've got to be the same with your missus, mate. And every man in this chat is going to be the same. They're walking up and down the food aisle, and I'm scouring the fucking jumble sale bit, seeing what shit they've got in there. Just thinking, this could be fucking brilliant.
Yeah, socket spanners.
Yeah, socket spanners. Yeah, 12 quid. It's fucking 12 quid.
Yeah. Fuck it, I love that.
Yeah, stick in the basket. What are you doing? Yeah. In a grill pan. Yeah, but we don't grill anything. Shut up, put it in the fucking basket.
Yeah, just stick it in. It's not
blow up donkey. I've always wanted a blow up donkey.
Oh, what it does.
What is your favourite lager, lads? You've asked that earlier. It's hard. If we're going to go for a Pilsner, I would go completely what JB said, which would be.
Oh, it's brilliant. It's a brilliant beer. Love it.
If you've not tried it, Connor, it's available it's certainly available in Morrison's. It's probably, I don't think it's available in Tesco. But Pilsner,
but I don't think it is now.
I didn't. I had a look the other day. I was trying to put Dan onto it the other day. Didn't see it in there. Hey, that's an idea. When I've delivered my lorry, a load in a lorry, go park in IKEA car park, and I've got a delivery service.
I'll tell you what, he's got a good thing there.
How many people must get to their car with all the shit they've bought?
Yeah. What have you going down that? Well, I bought a load of shit and learned a bit of Swedish.
For nice meatballs.
Yeah, nice meatballs. Yeah. Didn't I do a lager? I think I did.
I've never read the lager. That's going to sound awful. Dan Stan, how you doing? Love you guys. Drinking a Larita passion fruit pale ale from a Munzen. Okay, decent beers coming out of M&S. If you've seen them, love my stouts. Any recommendations? In M&S, there's a Black Forest stout, which is very nice. Brewed by Vocation.
An Irish stout brewed by O'Hara's, I think, in M&S.
Okay.
It was. That was supposed to be nice, but I didn't. Yeah, it was nice.
Freezing on it.
What?
A jumper's popped up.
A jumper?
Called literally freezing.
Literally freezing. You need that, love.
It's always cold.
Oh yeah, you're always cold. You'd be sat in the fucking sun. You'd be cold. Lovely stouts. Any recommendations, mate? There are some fantastic stouts out there.
There is.
It depends how accessible you want them.
Brewdog layer cake.
Well, Brewdog layer cake, says Wanda.
Home bargains do Guinness for an extra, I think, as well.
Cocoa Wonderland.
Cocoa Wonderland's a porter, but very nice.
Cocoa Wonderland's beautiful. Vocation, nice, naughty and nice, is it?
Yeah, naughty and nice. In Lidl at the moment is Madagascar.
I don't know about that. I can't remember that.
Yeah, we have opposite opinions on that.
Oh, Wanda thought we got that one.
Yeah,
we got mystery.
That's coming. If I can get hold of that, that'll come next week.
Oh, you love it.
Well, I won't. Super Santa by Munson, Dan. Obviously, it'll be out at Christmas because otherwise it's a seasonal beer. The clue's in the title. Super Santa, the Choco Stout. It's a lovely, very expensive because me and Wanda, it was on tap down where we go, and this is a genuine story. You go into the brewer's tap, and on the little wall when you walk in, it's coming soon. And there's a picture of Super Santa from a Munson, the Wanda liked. Every time we walk in there, when's Super Santa coming on? Don't know. And it kept going on and on and on. And in the end, I had to message the owner saying, for the love of fucking God, please can you tell me that Super Santa's coming on? She's doing my fucking head in. And it'll be Christmas week. Of course it would. It's Super Santa. Literally, Wanda was, I think, was you having your hair done or were you doing someone's nails or something was being done? And Lorna, who runs the brewer's tap, messaged me saying it'll be on this afternoon. So I sent Wanda a message saying, I know something you don't know. Literally, it came back with, it's Super Santa, isn't it? So she came home and we were down there like shit off a shovel. So I bought 2 pints of Super Santa that came to just under £15. So I said, my first words were, Wanda, were, fucking sip that. Not buying anymore.
Oh, bloody hell.
There's a lovely beer.
It's Christmas.
Oh, shut your face. I'm currently having my Brew York Imperial Rye Stout at 8%. Called Wanda Rider.
Winona Rider.
Oh, Winona Rider. I do apologise. Must be winter. Stouts are coming into their own now.
Yeah, we're coming there. Stout season.
Tried the Black Forest one. A bit too sweet. Okay.
They've got a Stollen one that's come out.
A Stollen?
Yeah. Remember, I was telling you.
Oh, yeah. Oh, what, Vocation?
No, Brew York.
Brew York. They don't like me. Tried the Black Forest. A bit sweet. Love the Knockout by Vocation. Knockout's a nice beer. Don't bother with the blueberry maple stout from. I don't think I've had that.
I don't think I've had that either.
That's Sugartook.
I'm not too sure. I couldn't tell you.
No, that's Sugartook. I'm not. I picked the other one up, which was the Neapolitan one, Wanda, which we did while we were in Hastings. Not had that. About 5 minutes, JB, and then off.
Yeah, I'm happy with that, mate. It's been brilliant tonight. It really has.
I've really enjoyed it, mate. It's been nice. We'll have to do it again.
We're gonna do it again, definitely.
4 years time.
No, I think we'll make it a bit sooner. I think.
It's not. You know what? It's been nice to. Obviously, I've said to you, I class you as fucking way out there above us.
I'm not really not.
Very
fella.
Very underrated beer reviewer for me.
I like to be underrated. because I just like to get on with it.
Yeah, it's nice to actually sort of sit and chat to you.
Yeah,
it's been an absolute pleasure for me.
It's pleasure for me because I've been a big fan of your channel for a few years now. I really have, and seen it grow, and the way it's grown, it's been really, really, really good to watch. To be honest,
just lucky, mate, in the right place at the right time, really. And,
doesn't matter. It's just great to watch. You got great material.
But what I love about you, and it's such a simple thing for me. You've got all these people that are they're not obsessed. They have to have the right glass and all this, and you just not the right glass. But I like a branded glass.
Yeah,
and you've got with you do all your reviews in the same fucking glass. You don't give a shit. And I think that really sticks out for me. I think it makes you. I don't profess to be anything more than a normal man that enjoys having a beer.
You know what?
That's lost himself down a fucking rabbit hole, really.
I mean, my philosophy when I started all this was just be a normal bloke walking into a shop, picking up a beer, and having a laugh about it. There's nothing else.
No.
There's no, nothing else. It's just doing a normal review. I suppose that's why I watched Dean all these years as well, because he's just normal. He's just telling you how it is. It's nothing, it's incorruptible in a way because he'll just tell you what he thinks.
He doesn't give a fuck, does he?
He doesn't, but he means what he says, though. He doesn't deviate.
No, there's no ulterior motive with Dean, and there never has been. If he doesn't like somebody, he'll just tell you that. The amount of times he's messaged me saying he did that Brewdog beer that's in Sainsbury's, the rum. Is it Rum and Rattle? I think it's called something like that. And he's messaged me saying, "I've just done the new Brewdog beer in Sainsbury's." I'm like, I didn't know there was one, mate, to be fair. He said, I've done that and the vocation one. And I went, right. He said, I'll just turn the camera off halfway through. I was that fucked off with it. I said, that's the sort of video you need to stick out, mate.
Yeah.
I said, people fucking love.
People love all that.
They love it. And he went, no, it ain't me. And he did one, I can't remember what it was. It might have been Brewdog Pale Ale, and he'll correct me on this, but I do know that he had a whole video when he was in the old house, and he had the conservatory behind him.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah,
right. And he did a video, and he hated the beer that much that he turned around and drop kicked the fucking can out the fucking door. Right, he never put the video up. I went, you should have. Because people love that. He said, I was that pissed off of it. He said, I heard it hit my van as it bounced off the fucking top of the roof.
But it's a natural reaction which you can't repeat. It's a natural reaction to what you think is gonna be good, and it ends up being crap.
Utter shite.
It is, yeah. But no, I've always watched you. I've always watched Dean. It's always been a pleasure. It really has. It's great, and there's been lots of negativity about YouTube and that, but when you meet the right people, it makes it worthwhile.
I've learned a lot, and without going into any depth on that, because I'm fed up of talking about it.
We don't want to talk about it.
I've learned a lot, and I'm here now predominantly just to have a bit of fun.
That's what it should be about.
You got Mark,
making friends and having fun.
You've got the Pondering Man in the chat.
Yeah.
And I'm going to be completely honest. The Pondering Man has brought more than his fair share of stuff to my channel. I love Mark. I've got a lot of time for Mark.
I do. I like Mark. I do like Mark.
He did call me the most pointless beer reviewer on YouTube.
but that's fantastic, though.
Oh, I love that. That wasn't the reason I blocked him. Mark, I've got a lot. What I like about Mark is he says what he thinks, and he sticks by it. But the other thing with Mark is if he says something, and if you say to him, actually, mate, this, and this, he will sit and he will listen, and he likes to learn. Yeah. Oh no, not that again. That was Matt Miles, not Mark. He will listen and he will take it on board. So he's someone that actually wants to be proven wrong.
What I like about him is he says his opinion, but he still can sit back and take on board other people's opinions.
Yeah,
and that's what I like about him. I call him a little bit of a policeman in a way because he keeps it all in order in a way, but he does it from a good place as opposed to anything else. He's great, yeah.
And some of it, again, I watch most of Mark's videos. I don't comment on everything. I've got Mark on WhatsApp. I'm good friends with Mark, and I like the way that he doesn't give a shit. If he's got something to say, he's going to say it. Yeah. And more power to that. To be fair.
Yeah. No.
Mate, I'm going to go spend some time with my wife because she's very
do that.
I want to
do that. Get well soon, Wanda.
Thank you ever so much for joining me tonight, mate. Thank you everybody that's watched along.
Absolute pleasure, Scott. It really has.
The pleasure, mate, is all mine. Thank you ever so much for coming. It really has. And we will soon, mate. Definitely do it again, pal. All right.
Definitely. You take care, mate.
Thank you, everybody.
Cheers, mate.